Okay, I'm going to do the problems that might give us a little trouble. The first couple of them look pretty straightforward, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the one that's asking for simplest form. I'm going to go ahead and start with these. Now we have the first fraction, 10 twelfths, and they want it in simplest form. What you're doing is finding the greatest common factor, GCF. What's the highest number that 10 and 12 share in common without doing the highest number that 10 and 12 have in common. So what we do is find all the factors. Of course, 1 times 10, 2 times 5. Those are my factors here. And then for 12, 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. And those numbers can also be reversed. So the biggest number they share in common is 2. So therefore, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. When I say both sides, I mean my numerator and my denominator. 10 divided by 2 is 5, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. So my 10 twelfths in simplest form is 5 sixths. Now let's look at 4 twelfths. You do the same thing, find your greatest common factor. Let's see, 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. Here we have 1 times 12, 3 times 4, 2 times 6. Those all multiplied to give us 12. And the biggest number they share in common is 4. So I'm going to divide my numerator by 4, and I'm going to divide my denominator by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So 4 twelfths in simplest form is 1/3. Moving on with our mixed numbers here. I have 3 and 3/7 plus 4 and 5/7. Now from yesterday, remember when I told you to go ahead and take care of the fractions first. And since they both have the same denominator, I can go ahead and add them up. 3 plus 5 is 8. And then just bring your denominator down to 7. Okay? And then you have your whole numbers left. Of course, 3 plus 4 is 7. But we can't leave my number as 7 and 8/7 because the fraction part of this number is improper. So remember, you have to change your improper fraction into a mixed number. And when you get that mixed number, add it to the whole number you already have. Okay, so I divide my numerator by my denominator. 7 goes into 8 one time. 1 times 7 is 7. 8 minus 7 is 1. 1 is the remainder is your numerator, which is 1, and the denominator stays the same. Okay, so what I have basically now is 7 plus 1 and 1/7. That's my new number here. And 7 plus 1 and 1/7 is 8 and 1/7. Okay, that gives me my answer for my fraction. Here we have some subtraction problems. 2 and 1/6 minus 1 and 5/6. Now, I like this one because this one gives a number where you can't just subtract straight up and down. So what I would like for you to do is turn both of these numbers, when you have it like this, you have 1, you can't take away 5. Go ahead and change both numbers to improper fractions. You're just doing some backwards working here. Okay, and remember when I said you want to turn a mixed number to an improper fraction, you multiply the denominator by the whole number, and whatever answer you get from that product, you add it to the numerator. So for example, 2 times 6 is 12, and 12 plus 1 is 13, and my denominator stays the same. Same with this one. 6 times 1 is 6, plus my numerator 5 is 11. Have 11 6. Now you can subtract because I can take away 11 from 13. 3 minus 1 is 2, and 1 minus 1 is 0. My denominator stays the same. So I have 2 6, and of course we want those in simplest form, and both of those are divisible by 2. So if I divide 2 in my numerator and divide 2 in my denominator, I get 1/3. Moving on to the multiplying of fractions. 5 times 2/3. And I told you that there's an imaginary 1 as the denominator whenever you have a whole number times a fraction. 5 times 2 is 10, and 3 times 1 is 3. That's improper, so you're going to have to make it into a mixed number. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. 10 minus 9 is 1. My 1, which would normally be my remainder, is going to be my numerator. And the 3 stays the same. So 3 and 1/3 is what you get for that problem. I'm right here. Find the sum by making the denominators the same. All you're doing is finding an equivalent fraction. I have 2/10 plus 36 hundredths. An equivalent fraction of 2/10 is 20 1/100ths. Now, since both of my denominators are the same, I can add up 36 plus 20. 6 plus 0 is 6. 3 plus 2 is 5. So I have 56 hundredths. That's what you should have gotten for that problem. And the constructed response question is very simple. Ella filled a bucket 7/10 of the way with water. She then poured out 2/10 of the water. How much water remains in the bucket? 7/10 minus 2/10 is 5/10. And if you were to reduce that, that would become 1/2. And that is the homework for Tuesday.